Welcome students. Already we have started our topic with microscopic analysis of urine, and I welcome you all in our Good Samaritan School online classes of class 11 medical diagnostics. So today we are going to learn about the different kind of abnormalities of the kidney and urinary tract that we can diagnose with the help of the microscopic analysis of urine. So, when the procedure of microscopic analysis is done, then what kind of findings can you get? The various findings can be observed by microscopy on the sediment that can be as follows. Like you can get the leukocytes. So the leukocytes can also be detected by the analyzer method. Normal pus cell, it can be present in the urine, that can be 2 to 3, that is very less amount. If it will be more than 5, then it can be any kind of abnormal finding. Okay. And 2% acetic acid can be added to the slide to accumulate the nuclei of the leukocyte. So if we will put the acetic acid, 2% acetic acid, then what will happen? If the leukocyte will be present, then it will be accumulated. The nuclei will be accumulated and it will be easy to diagnose. Now, by analyzer method, actually the normal range is 0 to 10 WBC per ml. Okay, means microliter. Per microliter of urine can show 0 to 10 WBCs. That is in normal case. But if the range is 0 to 500, okay, so and the maximum, the sensitivity level is called as the 5 to 15. That means if the leukocyte count will be more than 15, so that means it will be the sensitive condition, and the measuring range can be as less as 0 and it can be as more as 500 also. Now the epithelial cells also can be present. So how can you identify the epithelial cells? It is squamous, tubular, transitional epithelial cell. That means squamous structure, you can see it here. It will be tubular and transitional epithelial cell. Normally in case of male 2 to 3 usually are present, and in case of female 2 to 5 usually it is present. But if the range is more than 5, that means it is the abnormal condition. Now in the next part, erythrocyte. Basically erythrocytes are not present, but the presence of RBCs with intact membrane, the presence of RBC with intact membrane or dysmorphic RBC, that means the structure of the RBC will be changed. Dysmorphic means the structure of the RBC will be different from the normal RBC. Okay, and it can be like half moon shape, like this kind of structure you can see, half moon shape structure you can see, or the irregular shape also you can see. Okay, so if the RBC will change its shape, then also it is abnormal. Yeast cells also can be present, and yeast cells can be mistaken for RBCs. That means you can, if the yeast cell will be present, it can also be misleaded by the RBC. Okay, when you will observe the RBC and when you will observe the yeast cell, maybe you can be confused. The normally 1 to 2 can be present, and basically it is absent, but in very rare case, in normal condition also 1 or 2 RBC can be present. The various abnormal cast can be found in the microscopic analysis. So what are the different kind of cast? Cast means when it should not be present but it is present, that is called as the abnormal cast. That can be granular cast, hyaline cast, red cell cast, white cell cast, epithelial cast, waxy cast, and fatty acid cast. That means these kind of cast should not be present, but these can be present in the abnormal condition. Now the different kind of crystals. Okay, you already know what is crystal. So some kind of crystals can be seen in the alkaline urine, and some kind of crystals can be found in the acidic urine. So what kind of crystals you can find in the alkaline urine? They can be triple phosphate. Okay, triple phosphate is actually the colorless prism like structure, and that prism will have 3 to 6 sides, and it is seen in the normal urine or chronic cystitis or the pyelitis. So normal alkaline urine also very less amount can be present of triple phosphate. It will be triple phosphate. Okay, and in case of the chronic cystitis or pyelitis also the more amount can be present. Now amorphous phosphate. Amorphous phosphate, it is also present in the granular form, and that doesn't have no that much important clinical significance. Now the calcium carbonate crystal. These are colorless and in the form of spherical dumbbell shape or the granular form, and that also doesn't have that much any essential clinical significance. And the last one is the ammonium biuretes. These are actually the brown spherical bodies with or without irregular spindles. So these are the crystals that can be present in the especially the alkaline urine, triple phosphate, amorphous phosphate, calcium carbonate and ammonium biuretes. Now the different kinds of mucus threads we can see, that is normally absent and abnormally it can be present in the UTI. UTI means urinary tract infection. Urinary tract infection. Okay, and the oval fat bodies and fat droplets can be seen also sometime in the urine, and normally these are absent but abnormally in case of the problem in the nephron. Okay, nephrotic syndrome, diabetes mellitus, chronic glomerulonephritis and fat embolism. In these cases, oval fat bodies and fat droplets can be present in the urine. And spermatozoa. Okay, spermatozoa basically it is present in the male person, but after the coitus, that means when the male and female can meet, after the meeting, the female urine also can contain the spermatozoa. Okay, now the bacteria, usually bacteria is absent, but usually in case of the urinary tract infection that can be caused by different kinds of bacteria, at that time it can be present. And yeast cell, yeast cells are especially the ovoid and often with the bud. So yeast cells generally it is absent, but in some cases it can be present also. Okay, and abnormally actually what will happen, the parasites are also usually normally absent, but this kind of parasite like Trichomonas vaginalis or the Enterobius vermicularis ova and the Schistosoma hematobium, these can be present in the urine. These are the parasite. Usually Trichomonas vaginalis can be seen in the female person, and Enterobius vermicularis and the Schistosoma hematobium. Actually Schistosoma hematobium, that is the blood parasite. Okay, that is usually present in blood. Okay, these are actually blood parasite, but sometime in urine also it can be seen. And the different artifact is also same like that, when it is coming in the urine just because of the external environment. Okay, like the starch crystal, fiber, oil droplet, hair, air bubbles, all the talcum powder particles. So when the urine is coming out from the body, just the use of some kind of chemical outside of our body on some time of some kind of use of some kind of like fabric and fiber, oil droplet, so these can be present in the urine in the form of artifact. Okay, and the last part, the post examination sample storage. So urine specimens are usually stored at room temperature for 24 hours, after which they are discarded following rule of biohazards waste management. So that means when the urine will be discarded, it should be followed by the rule of biohazardous waste management, because if the urine of the patient is containing any kind of infectious disease, so that should not be transmitted in our society. So before discarding the urine sample, the biohazardous waste management rule should be followed. So this is up to the whole part of the urine analysis, and in our next class we are going to start with the feces analysis part. Okay, thank you very much.